Welcome back to the build. I've actually done quite a lot since the previous video, and I've taken all the parts and I've sanded down all the areas where the fill holes were, the air holes for the resin. As I show you each part, I'll show you where I sanded down and how to make it best fit. But this video I'm going to specifically concentrate on the holes for the screws, because they need to be lined up very, very well for the model to fit together properly. What I did was I used my Dremel and a size 2.4 drill bit. That's from the Dremel set. I'm not sure what the size will be in America, but 2.4 millimeters. Okay. The thicker parts I drilled halfway through, and then I came from the other end to make sure they lined up. And what I did on all the parts, okay, these parts here are it's the master. Okay, these parts here is a prototype. So I'm first going to show you on the master what I did, because I've already drilled the holes on these parts. Okay. So you see all the sections where there's holes necessary, there's actually indentations, which makes it a lot easier. So if you look from the top, you'll see where the windscreen is in front of the windscreen, there's a little tab, and there's a little indentation on both sides. Same with the back end, on both sides. And the top of the rear end, which is two sections, which go together like such, which I have explained before. The top section also has a little indentation, and the bottom section as well. Okay, and the bottom of this main section. Okay, I'll show you the side ones now. Let me first show you what I did to line these up. What I did initially was I took the top section, which is now, this is the cast, the clear cast. Okay, you'll see, like I said, the hole is there, so the thinner part you can drill directly straight through. Okay, the thicker parts I'd recommend going halfway through and then coming from the other end, and then make sure they line up. Okay, so these two go together, the top of the windscreen, or the roof, and the rear end, and the two holes line up. Okay, so what I did was I drilled this hole first, and then I lined it up, okay, making sure it's 100%, and then I drilled from this end through the other one. Okay, and then while I was holding it, I tapped the hole right through both of them, and I put the screw in. Okay, for the lower end, so this is your floorboard. Okay, this needs quite a couple of holes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so this lines up with the rear end, the big heavy part. Okay, and there's indentations like before. So what I did over here was, from this end halfway through, and then all the way through on this side. This one I went all the way through. Sorry, I first lined them up and then went all the way through. Okay, so you can actually line it up. You can see the hole through the other end, because this is a clear bit. Drill it through and then tap it all the way through. Okay. Okay, this is the firewall, the rear firewall. Okay, and this has two holes, one there and one there. And this basically lines up with the side of the floorboard, two holes. So once again, I drilled through both of those. Sorry, now I'm talking rubbish. I drilled through this first, halfway, and then from the other side, and then I lined it up, because these holes line up. And from the top I drilled right through, and then I tapped them. Okay. This over here, you'll find on your, see, this has got indentations. For some reason on the casting, the indentations aren't so prominent, but you do feel them very, very slightly. Placement of these isn't crucial, they're slightly off, because there is a gap between the front section and the floorboard. Okay, since I'm sitting with this part, okay, on the inside of this hole, this is where your sensor goes in. If you feel inside there with a drill bit, I'll use a screwdriver. You can see there's an indentation inside. Okay, so that makes it very easy. Just drill a hole straight through. Okay. So this just requires one hole, and then tap the hole. Okay, this is your front firewall. Okay, also quite a couple of holes. Okay, you have your top two for your pods, your bottom two that hold it onto the floorboard, and you have your front one that holds your front main detail section, and then the two that also hold it onto the floorboard. well, these two hold it onto the floorboard, these two secure it to the side wall of the doors, the door side walls. Okay, so what you do over here is there are indentations, so just drill through them all except the top one. Okay, what you do with the top one is when you get your two pods, I don't have the copy pods over my cast over here. Okay, so you take your pod, okay, with the little vent on top. Okay, and this just slides in. You see it actually slides into the gap. Okay, so what I did was I drilled one hole through this one, and then I fitted it in, and I held it very, very tight to the front section. Then I drilled the second hole, and then I tapped it right through. Okay, so as you see, this is the casting with all the holes. And then, I mean, once you've done the tapping, put the screw through, make sure it fits. Okay, that's for both sides. Okay, this one over here, this front detail section fits onto the firewall. Okay, so these two holes, the one in this section that sticks out and the hole that goes through the front section, should line up and holds the section in. Okay. Okay, the side doors, they have two sections and tabs that also have indentations. So these will line up to the floorboard front section. Okay, you see the little groove will fit into this groove. Okay. Sorry, I'm doing a back up over the wrong side. My model, I don't know how to put it together. Very funny. Okay, so it lines up, drill your hole through and screw it in. Okay, so what I'm going to do in the next video, just show you what I've done on the paint job and where I've sanded down on those parts. And then I will actually show you how to do a test fit. I'd recommend before you paint the model, do a test fit, make sure everything fits properly. I found a couple of problems which I might fix, but to make a better model you might do more than me. Okay, so yeah, in the next one I'll show you how to do that. Okay, thanks.